I really couldn't have made that up. It must have happened to me. And I did study with Boulanger. Oh, I should have brought you the picture.
Oh, you have a picture of you and Boulanger?
No, not of Boulanger, of where she taught me. The castle. Napoleon's palace.
In a castle?
It was in Napoleon's palace.
See what I mean? You got to say all this again.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the Hallmark movies? You know, they're always having these movies in these castles in these foreign countries, and it just, I think, are those real? And apparently there are.
They are real. Oh, Napoleon's palace was incredible. And we did the Bach B minor Mass in his original chapel with, it was just unbelievable. The sound was incredible. And Boulanger directed it, and she had this black onyx ring with a diamond in the
black
middle.
onyx ring.
And it had a diamond in the middle, and Faray had given it to her. And she would direct like this, and you were just mesmerized watching this.
I guess it's on now, huh? Yeah, the camera's on. No, that's okay. That's good. I just wanted to tell everybody who you are. This is my dear friend.
I like the dear friend idea.
Oh, Eleanor Trafton, who is a wonderful composer and piano teacher in Birmingham. And now we're going to relax. I just have to, because else, how do they know who you are?
Well,
Eleanor came to Ellis Piano,
to get a piano.
To buy a piano.
About 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, to buy a piano, and then you told David that you were a composer, and then David Ellis, and then David said, well, Loretta is the composer, you guys need to meet, get together.
Absolutely,
blah, blah, blah.
And he was right. I really enjoyed knowing Loretta.
Yeah, her music is amazing. Your music is what my music wants to be when it grows up. Yeah, I'm looking so forward, but the reason that we've got you in front of this camera today is because this lady was, tell me how you were chosen to study with Nadia Boulanger when you were 22 years old.
Yes. A University of Miami, which was my home after I had graduated from college. I was studying there under, and I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. He wrote the Air Force song. And I was studying with him. And
the Air Force song?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my word.
And I don't remember his name, but I began to enjoy composing strictly because it was like therapy to me.
Me too.
And that's really all I had intended for it to be. But he sent my composition to some committee in New York. I'm sorry I sound so vague, but I don't really know anything else. To see if I could study at the American School of Fine Arts right outside of Paris, which is bringing out the professors, teachers from all over. We had Casa Dessous and Clifford Curzon and just very outstanding people to be our professors for a summer session which lasted 4 months, but the way we had to work, it seemed like it was 8 months. It was very hard. And to be honest, I will tell you, when I got off the plane, after I arrived back home, they interviewed me for the newspaper. And the one thing that they asked, which is really a difficult thing to answer, what did I learn? And first of all, I thought that was a pretty stupid question, but I had to answer something, and so I said, I have learned what genius is, and it's not Eleanor Trafton. Well, it was Eleanor Falwell then. And I learned how much I don't know and how far I need to keep going.
So you did get to study composition under Nadia Boulanger.
Yes.
Is that all she taught?
No, she also taught, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, solfeggetto.
Okay, and what does that?
That means you have to be able to sing with a piece of music in front of you, not with the words, just la la la, the intervals.
Right.
And she gave you one note, and you sang a third or a fourth or a dominant seventh, whatever it was. And when you were finished singing the measures that she had in front of her that we were reading, she played the last note. Oh, it was pretty bad. I was off, but it
So
was,
now I'm even more flabbergasted because you were chosen to study composing under Nadia Boulanger, and you want to compose with me.
yes, ma'am.
I'm so thrilled.
Well, I am excited
And
about
for
it.
everybody who might need a reminder about who Nadia Boulanger was, she was considered one of the most influential teachers of composition of the entire 20th century.
That's
Correct?
right. César Franck was one of her very outstanding, I guess, student. But I think another thing that thrilled me was she was also the guest conductor for the New York Symphony.
I read that.
And I remember I got a notice about it because the school would send out things, and I just wanted to go so much. But at that time, I was not able to do it. But I thought, did I really study with this woman?
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Now, tell me, you were having a lesson at her, you went to her apartment. Correct?
Yes.
That's where you have your lessons. And one afternoon during a lesson, there was a knock on her door.
Yes.
She goes to the door and opens it, and who was standing there?
Kind of a red-haired, funny-looking man. Unfortunately, I'm describing him not for what he really was. It was Stravinsky.
Are we still rolling? Great.
And
Stravinsky.
That's Igor. And what he did, he was working on his symphony in C, and she was his teacher.
Oh.
I guess not only in the right combinations in harmony or transitions or phrasing or anything like that, but also she could play his whole score with just looking at it. That's what genius is.
Oh my word.
She was what a musician. But anyway,
And they asked you.
I went over, she called me over and she said, this is, and I didn't know it was Igor Stravinsky. I was just sitting on the sofa when her, I guess, housekeeper or something had answered the door, and then she got up and they talked in French, and needless to say, unless it was very elementary and very slow, I didn't understand it. But I went to the piano where she was, and she said, see if you can follow along in the oboe part. Well, I thought, okay, maybe I can do one part, and she did the whole score, and all I was supposed to do was kind of follow along with the oboe part, maybe. Well, of course, they finished well before I did, because I couldn't follow along in the oboe part. But that was okay. Nobody was upset, because I sang extremely low, so nobody would hear. But it was unbelievable to think that I was looking at a handwritten, because I'm pretty old, and way back then, we didn't have computers.
Right.
And all these new things that they have today. And it was all written by hand. And I happened to look up at the end, and at the very end of the last page, just kind of scribbled, was the word Igor Stravinsky.
And did your heart stop?
My heart stopped completely, and I thought, to apologize to him. I've ruined his sound. But I didn't ruin his sound because I didn't sing loud enough for it to really matter.
Did he say anything? Did he make any comments?
No, he really
Was he a
did
quiet
not.
man?
He was quiet, except they were what I call intense working people in their commitment. And I don't know if he didn't have a lot of time. I don't know. I just sat back on the sofa and I couldn't understand a word they were saying, but then I'd hear a little different something on the piano and say, well, I guess he changed that or she changed that. But
who else did you encounter through Nadia Boulanger? You mentioned Menotti.
Oh no, Menotti was way back. I was still in high school.
Okay.
And he just happened to be interested in the University of Miami's music department. My mother was head of the University of Miami's vocal department and something else. I don't remember what else she was. She was my mother, and I just don't remember anything else. But she was head of that, and that's, he was interested in something, and I don't really know. I should have been more inquisitive, but at that point, I didn't know who Menotti really was.
He came and visited?
But he, my mother, they were working on something, and my mother would just invite him for dinner.
Oh, my word. Oh, that's okay. Just, Menotti, come on over. And you said he came to dinner one night when he was working on Amal and the Night Visitor.
I think it was the Amal and Night Visitor. And there was just something, I don't know if he was trying to involve. I wish I could tell you why he was there. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm sorry, I can't fill in those details.
That's okay.
But that's all I know about Menotti, which is just not a lot.
That's amazing that you've been exposed to these people. That's very unusual. You're special in that way, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
Because you're an incredible composer.
No, I don't listen to her.
She really is. She really is.
I just enjoy it, and it's part of, well, look who's talking. I gave your music to Patty, one of my twins, who plays.
Yeah.
And the other one plays the flute. So I gave her that music, and she said, you know, I can see why children would enjoy her music. She said, I did, and there's something about a rumba or something. What's the last one you wrote?
The Jamaican Vacation?
Yes, she really liked that one.
Yeah, a lot of people really like that one.
She liked that one. So then she said, Mom, you need to do something like that. So I've written one. You'll have to hear what I wrote.
Well, I appreciate you telling us that story. I've been wanting to write about that story, you and Stravinsky and your whole study with Nadia, because just being accepted into the studio of Nadia Boulanger, that's amazing.
I agree with
even
that.
George Gershwin.
Yes.
And why do you think he was? Because I read that when he went to her and asked her to take him on as a student, I've read that she said to him, I can teach you nothing. What do you think that meant?
I think she was much more of an in-the-box classical teacher, which is what I needed.
Right.
But he was out of the box, different rhythmic patterns, different harmonies. Now, I may not know what I'm talking about, but
No,
that
you're
would be
right.
my feeling of,
Yeah.
and she was very honest about it.
Mhm.
And she was also very honest about what she thought would be good that you might have written and what wasn't so good.
Yeah, you told me that too. In fact, one time you said it was grueling to study under her. Because she was so, but that was her job.
That was her job.
Yeah.
And that was also, job is just kind of the wrong word. I think it was her passion
Yes.
to help anyone to improve in music. And as I have gotten more and more involved in music in my life, I also think it was with her also. My legacy is to leave the passion for piano, the passion for just music in general, and a love to keep music going within the young people, that they too will pass it on.
Me too.
And I'm
Couldn't
sure
have
that's
said it
yours.
better. It absolutely, I couldn't have said it any better. That's one reason I write,
So do I.
you know.
But I haven't given any to my pupils yet.
You will though, you will.
I may.
Okay, so we're going to sign off I guess. Is
Sign
somebody
off.
come and turn the camera off?
And thank you for listening to this.
Thank you for telling us.
Thank you for asking me.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.